Okay, so for the second one, okay. So for the second one, everybody should have gotten that. Okay, if this is positive, this one has to be negative.
I got positive 280 with negative 80. That's what I'm saying. I didn't say it.
No, I got that.
I got that.
I don't even know what it is. I just know I got that. I don't know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it matters.
Okay, so look, how did you get, so listen. So where's the negative 100?
I get it. Never mind. I got it.
It's here. So it is a positive 80. Okay? So I think what happened is you must have gone off of this line.
Yeah, I went off to the.
Yes. You got to go off the first line. Yes. Okay, well, I'll work with you later. Okay. So, all right, moving on. So look, shh. Okay, if you're on your phones, then you don't need my help. Okay. So for each point, it wants the polar, bless you. So I'm looking for r and theta. So the only way to find r is I have to take x squared plus y squared. And the only way to find theta is to take the inverse tangent. And you're going to add 180 if x is less than 0. That's the only way to do it. And this is in degrees. And the next section, it wants theta in radians. And if I want rectangular coordinates, there's only one way to do it. Yep. Unless it's an exact value. Okay. So that's how we're going to do all of those.
Wait, how is it 9 to the 12 one?
The same as 5 through 8. All right, so everybody get your green sheet out from yesterday.
Yay.
Okay, so on the green one, first of all, number 1, if we look at number 1, I know this is number 2. Look at number 1. So what's the radius for number 1? 4. So next, the inverse tangent is 4 over 0, which is, that is undefined. So where is theta undefined? It's undefined at pi over 2, right? And this time it's at pi over 2. So your answer for number 1 is 4, comma, pi over 2. All right? All right, for number 2. So there's so many questions. I'm doing this wrong. This is so difficult. I get it, right? Because we find r the same way every time. That was super hard to write down.
Yeah, I got R.
So 1/2 times 1/2 is 1/4. That is fourth grade math. The fractions, I looked it up, by the way. It is 3rd and 4th grade. So I'll give you 4th grade, all right? 4th grade. So Negative 3 times negative 3, that's a positive 3, and then over 4. So 1/4 plus 3/4 is 4 over 4, which is 1. So my radius is 1. Again, I can see the difficulty here. So now we're going to find the inverse of tangent. Again, this is going to be super hard. I'm going to write down the inverse of tangent. And then I'm going to put my y over x. Again, super difficult. Super difficult. Because then I'm going to flip the bottom one. So I'm going to write this down for you. Negative 3 over 2 times 2 over 1. And those big bad 2's cancel out. And it's going to leave me with the inverse tangent of theta equals negative square root of 3. So now we're going to do the super hard part because we wrote it down in our notes yesterday. So I'm going to ignore the negative for just a second, and I'm going to ask you, where is the tangent of theta equal to the square root of 3? Pi over 3. Thank you. So now this is where if there's any hard part on any of the assignment at all, you actually have to think to do this, so this probably might be a little hard. But if I look at my original point, I have a positive x and a negative y. Which quadrant does that put me in? Right down there, right? Positive x, negative y. So we drew on our little thing. If I want to get in the fourth quadrant, I have to take 2 pi minus the reference angle. So yes, this is going to be difficult. I'm going to have to take 2 pi minus pi over 3. And Jada, I know that's not your favorite thing to do. So let's put this over common denominators. If this is over 3, it's going to be 6 pi over 3, which gives me 5 pi over 3, giving me an answer of 1 and 5 pi over 3. Because it can't, because that's a positive one, and I want a negative. Okay, I understand. I agree with you. We need more room. We need more room on both of these. And if you want to do them on a separate sheet of paper and staple them together, do it. I'm okay with that. Can I do it again? We're not taking a break.